Whoa, YouTube, is this a different day or something? Huh? It feels like we might be in part 3. Huh? Huh? Part 3? Yeah? We're here with more, I tell you more, of Rotten Mango as we continue the United Healthcare CEO shot in public video, which got depressing at the end of part 2. But now with part 3, let's see what happens. I don't know. I don't know if it gets happy or sad. We'll figure it out. Anyways, like, subscribe, check out the original video, link to the description below. Don't be a little dickhead. Go check out the original video. Anyways, let's get into it.
You may say, who are you to say he should pay with his life? I would respond with, who are you to say that my mom and innumerable other Americans should have paid with her life and by suffering just to simply line his pockets with a few extra bucks? I'm an atheist. However, it's days like this that I wish there was a hell, because it's people like the United Healthcare CEO who deserve to spend an eternity suffering for what they've done to others for their own gain. He and United Healthcare are not out here starving on the streets, stealing a loaf of bread to eat. They are dragons amassing wealth while raising our cities. Delay, deny, defend. And sure, if someone is heartless, they could blame the customers somehow by stating, well, it can't be everyone. But how is it that pretty much every division that United Healthcare touches, other than the shareholders and people making millions off the company, there's at least some people with horrendous life-altering experiences, even their own employees. One alleged United Healthcare employee states that when she got a call from a customer, a client technically, who's in tears, they were telling her that they were gonna die because the medication that they need to live is $1,500 a month. They don't have that. And United, the people that they pay to be insured, won't cover it. She says her superiors told her the only appropriate answer for someone like that is to tell them, contact the drug manufacturer and see if they'll give you a manufacturer's coupon. The same alleged former United employee states that a man had called in once crying, stating that his doctor told him that he needs to get this very specific medication, but it's not covered. She Googles it, sees that there's a brand name version and a generic version. United will cover the generic version, not the brand name. And instead of thousands of dollars a month that he cannot pay, it's going to be $20, $30 a month, and United has to cover the rest. She helps him out, gets it covered through United. He's so moved, so touched by her generosity of doing the human thing, that as a way to show his gratitude, he starts sending flowers to their office to show her managers that she's stellar at her job, she should get rewarded for it, she should be promoted, and it's supposed to be this beautiful story with a beautiful end, right?
Oh no.
She is reprimanded. Her manager tells her that she should never do that again on the grounds that the insurance rejected the claim for the medication. She went behind the insurer's back to...
Okay, remember what I told you in the last part, in part 2, about how you need to be your own advocate and you need to find out exactly what connects to what so you can get the proper thing taken care of? That's a sign of that, because they are told to not care about you. She tried to care about them and she was reprimanded for it. That's how bad it is. That's why you need to self-advocate and know exactly what the pipeline is for what you need, because they are not looking out for you, and their superiors are telling them not to.
Find an alternative. We said no. Basically, don't go behind our backs and make us pay. She says, can you imagine paying into insurance and paying into a company that literally is designed to make sure you don't get the care you need, and then watching your kids, your parents, your grandparents, your spouse be unalived because you cannot afford these astronomical amounts that are not regulated at all? That's enough to make a person snap. I hate to say this, but this is what the employee says. Former.
I just want to say, chat, we do not wish death upon people here. It's okay to not it's okay to be like me, where it's like, I don't give a fuck if you die, like, W. But we're not going to wish death upon people. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a certain line we need to have. Like, if you have that as a personal thought, that's cool. But, like, I can't be somebody who's, like, cool with that being in my community. Does that make sense? Okay. If you can we revel in it? I mean, yeah, man. Like, I think the only thing that I have as a guideline is don't wish death upon people. But if someone's dead and you want to celebrate it, fuck it. Yeah, man. Like, that's a whole different story. right? Just like, remember, if we're going to be like extremist in views, don't be like the extremist type that is, you know, being threatening, right? Mm. Do we wish they had an unfortunate incident? No. Wish it, like doing that kind of stuff where it's like you're wishing ill upon others. If you want to do that in your free time on your own platform, 100% do it. I don't give a shit. It's your own life. My only time where I'm telling you not to do that is when it's my platform, right? Because you're in my community, in my chat right now. That's the time where it's unacceptable. In your own time, shit, bitch, go off. I don't care. That's your own business. Understand that? Like, there's a difference. Mm-mm. Yeah. That's all. But this... Oh, hold on. But won't this cause bad things? What do you mean by that? Huh? Don't be a threat, be the after party. Yeah, now see, that's a vibe. Yeah, don't do the community gives an echo chamber gives off bad vibes. Yeah, like, listen, the only echo chamber we can have as a community is that I'm a fucking tyrant. Other than that, you know. Inspire others to do the same. What? Sorry, what? What? What is that even? Anyone's confused by that? I don't, is that just... Inspire what exactly? Yeah, I'm just confused by what they're saying. While they type it out, I'm at play.
If you play devilish games, you're gonna get devilish prizes. Another alleged former employee of United says, the call that broke me was a woman calling in about a bill she received.
You're bad at words? No worries, man. I was trying to understand what you meant.
Her 6-year-old just died from a brain tumor, and they were planning the funeral when they got notice that they were being sued by a doctor because United Healthcare hadn't paid a nearly $1.4 million claim. I couldn't really help her. Our call center was just for checking if something was in network or covered, but I could see her claim. One person remarks that the bullet casing...
Tee up. Sorry, someone just explained it. He thinks that it'll make people go out and find a CEO to delete them from life. Oh, that's what you meant. Okay, that's a little bit of shift in the conversation that we were having, but yeah, for like the main topic at hand, yeah, copycats might come up. We haven't seen a copycat yet, though. So no one's copycatted it yet. But we'll see. Only time can really tell for that. Yeah, we've seen someone being unjustly framed for being a copycat, but not like an actual copycat. Because she was definitely not a fucking copycat. Let's be clear. Her being, like, charged for 15 years is fucked. Just saying. Just saying. Mm-mm. Yeah, she's currently facing up to 15 years, I believe. For threatening. And now she's considered the copycat of Luigi. Whoa. She made like one offhanded comment. That was it. She said one sentence. And now is going to be facing up to 15 years. And now they're trying to say that she's Waluigi. I mean, that's what they're trying to say, man. It's fucking stupid. So stupid.
Having words engraved on them is, quote, That's what we call poetic justice. For a while, there were speculations that Luigi Mangione had United Healthcare and had encountered some of these insurance nightmare stories like everybody else. But it's been stated that he was never a customer of United. However, netizens are still putting the dots.
Doesn't that break the First Amendment? Yes, it fucking does. But guess what? If you don't have billions of fucking dollars, they don't give a shit about you and your First Amendment rights. Your speech is dog shit if you don't have money. Welcome.
Together. According to his Goodreads, in 2022, Luigi starts reading books about chronic back pain. The first is Crooked, Outwitting the Back Pain Industry and Getting on the Road to Recovery, and Back Mechanic by Dr. Stuart McGill. Also, Why We Get Sick, the hidden epidemic at the root of most chronic diseases and how to fight it.
Oh.
His X account header is an X-ray photo of someone's back that shows 4 giant screws in the lower spine, which appears to be from a back surgery that he might have had to treat a condition called spondylolisthesis, which is when one of the vertebrae in your spine slips out of position. It starts putting pressure on the vertebra below it. So your spine is made up of 33 stacked bones called the vertebrae. Your vertebrae are linked together, but they can move depending on how you move, change your posture. But if you have spondy, is what they call it, one of your vertebrae moves more than it should and slides out of its usual spot.
Ugh.
It's now, the real pain happens when that puts pressure or even pinches a nerve in your back.
Can it be like repositioned?
Through surgery, which is rough.
Oh, that's why there's the
Screws to position it. And once you screw it in place, I mean, you lose a good part of normal mobility. I mean,
And
I guess
he's still got abs like that? And he's still got that low of body fat percentage? When he got screws in his back? Damn, motherfucker, damn!
depends per person, but
Good
it's
for
pretty
him.
rough. A lot of doctors don't recommend surgery because it's not going to be fun afterwards either. One doctor states the condition can be very painful if the nerves are pinched. Putting weight on your spine can hurt a lot. It's an excruciating type of pain, and it doesn't go away with conservative management. Medications aren't going to help. Injections aren't going to help. It can lead to high impact chronic pain. This is chronic pain that will impact daily acts, schoolwork, daily self-care, work. These people are more likely to struggle with mood, with one's ability to get restorative sleep, to manage the distress and anxiety that can naturally occur with pain. That's going to be disrupted. You can't even sleep. Another doctor states, for someone with spondy, physical therapy can be excruciating and won't necessarily help. It's sort of like a torture. Luigi had briefly done a remote stay in Hawaii as he was remote working. He was staying in this dorm-like structure with a bunch of people that were working remote. And
That's
the
cool.
landlord of that structure says, when I first interviewed him, because they all have to be interviewed, they want everyone to get along. It's like a co-living situation.
Okay, yeah.
When he moved in, I remember he said he had a back issue and he was hoping to get stronger in Hawaii. Luigi allegedly told the landlord that he had chronic pain from a pinched nerve from a misaligned spine. Spondy. The landlord states he said his lower vertebrae were almost like a half-inch off, and I think it pinched a nerve. Sometimes he would be doing well, and other times not. I mean, it was pretty traumatic and difficult that he just took one basic surfing lesson that beginners take. He was completely bedridden for a week.
Oh,
this
man,
is
that
just from
sucks.
a little lesson that he took.
No, so he had it already, and the doctors told him that he could be mobile.
Oh, okay.
And he should be mobile. So he takes one basic surfing lesson
And
and he becomes bedridden for a week. So
Yeah,
it
'cause the pain's
seems
so
that
bad.
it exacerbated it.
Yeah.
He went on to say that Luigi, quote, he knew that dating and being physically intimate with his back condition was not possible. I remember him telling me that and my heart just breaks. He said he felt sad for Luigi because Luigi is this young, smart, accomplished.
So, wait, hold on. If a bitch rides him, but he keeps his hips locked, that could work. Like, put him in a brace and then get her to ride your shit. Right? Like, get him a back brace that stabilizes him so he can't move at all. No? I was doing hand motions. My hand tracker's not even on. Oh, okay. No, I got an idea. He just gets crazy head for the rest of his life. Aha! No, is that no? Someone in chat goes, I volunteer instantly. Okay, god damn.
Accomplished, upbeat engineer.
Chat.
He seems very much into being active, fitness. He loved hiking, surfing, all of these things, and he can't even do that anymore. But he does remember that Luigi told him he was going to get spinal surgery in 2023, so he texted Luigi. This is after he moves out of Hawaii. Luigi just responds, long story, when asked about how the surgery went. No more text messages after that. No matter how often he tried to contact Luigi, he would text him, yo, you awake? Where in the world are you? Nothing. Radio silence. Netizens were quick to find a Reddit account called Mr_Cactus that seems to belong to Luigi. He apparently liked to post about travel gear, Pokemon Go, spinal pain. Everything adds up. Age, college, what he was interested in. In one forum about Spondy, Luigi allegedly writes, I first aggravated my Spondy 1.5 years ago after a surfing incident. My back and hips locked up after that accident. And my whole lumbar and hips have been out of whack since then. Something is probably putting pressure on the sacral nerves that innervate the groin and butt area. He responds, yeah, it was when I was surfing about 1.5 years ago. Basically, the extension movement destabilized my spondy. A few weeks later, I slipped on a piece of paper and my right glute locked and right leg shut down for a week. I couldn't support any weight on it. Eventually calmed down, but the stability was compromised and the glute keeps thighs in place, I guess. He warns other Redditors, if there is anything tight in your hips, maybe check it out with a PT. Not to scare you, but, you know, my numbness has become constant. Numbness in his body.
Wow.
In another comment, he explains how he wants to get surgery because, likely he's in a lot of pain and cannot even be mobile. When there's a Redditor talking about how their surgeon won't operate on their back, he comments, keep trying different surgeons. If your back is broken and it's unlivable, age has nothing to do with it. Good surgeons understand this and will operate you based on your symptoms and anatomy. Tell them that you're unable to work. Do your job. We live in a capitalist society. I found that the medical industry responds to these key words, I can't work, it's impacting my ability to work and make a living, far more urgently than you describing unbearable pain and how it's impacting your quality of life. Or plan Z,
that's true as shit.
Drop, or piss yourself. This is the absolute nuclear option, but there comes a point where it's just ridiculous that people won't operate on your broken spine. If this account is really Luigi, he's pretty consistent and positive with uplifting people that are suffering similar symptoms as him while acknowledging how debilitating they are. Because again, keep in mind, this is technically an anonymous account. He never releases his name, if this is him. He never says, hi, these are my friends, please look at my friends. Nobody knows it's him writing these comments. And when you see anonymous accounts on the internet, more likely than not, they are some of the most malicious people alive. Mm-hmm. But he writes to others, stuck being sedentary.
Mm-hmm. Some people act real tough behind anonymity, huh? Mm-hmm. Just thinking about to the start of stream where someone called me the N-word as a joke. Love a good hard R. But it was a joke. But it was a joke. Yeah, you know what? Say that joke to my face. Try it. Would you? Would you really do it though? No, you fucking wouldn't, would you? Yeah, fucking dickhead.
When you're an energetic person and used to being so active is one of the worst aspects of this. But there are still ways to keep your mind and body active while you heal. I spent a lot of time doing yoga, being mindful to avoid certain positions, which was very different for me than my typical routine of weightlifting and martial arts. But I actually have learned a lot and didn't mind the transition at all. Basically, there are still options. Using your body however it is currently capable will not only be critical for your mental health, but also helpful in your speedy recovery. There are always some activities that fall between your normal routine and nothing, even if it initially feels like it's the only option is being sedentary. Hope that helps. Sorry you have to go through this. In another forum about sleep and discipline, it reads, why do I feel like vomiting sensations throughout the day if my sleep the previous night is not good? Luigi allegedly comments, this has been happening to me since high school. I'm currently in college. Any night I would sleep less than 6 hours, which is a conscious choice, not unexpected poor sleep, I would feel nauseous. Is that unusual? I thought it was normal, to be honest. This is where it gets very interesting. A lot of people with chronic back pain have commented that it's not just your physical that declines. When the pain is so bad, you lose cognitive focus. It's not like you can lay in bed and still have...
Shit, my dad and I talked about this. So because of like dealing with cancer, like I have chronic pain and he has pain as well, right? So like I'm medicated for that shit. Him not so much because his isn't chronic anymore. But one of the things that like happens is we get like really bad brain fog is what we call it. Our mental clarity will drop really fucking fast. And we'll kind of get disoriented, or we'll kind of like lose focus of where we were. And he used to have that back when he was a professor. And after chemo and everything, he'd be in class, he'd be standing in front of the classroom, right, in his lecture hall. And he would have to go look at the PowerPoint that he made behind him to figure out what the fuck he was talking about, because he has no idea. That happens to me sometimes when I'm streaming. And I'll like look over at chat. I'll take you guys out of emote only, so I can read what the fuck happened, because I don't remember where I am. Not like don't remember where I am. It's like I don't remember where I am within what I was talking about, is a better way to put it. Like I won't lose track of where I am physically, though. It's not that intense. It's just like, oh fuck, I have no concept of what I was saying. Like I can't even like backtrack, right? That's what it's like. I'm not like, oh shit, where am I? It's not, right? Like I want to make sure it's clear. It's not that extreme, but it's like enough for it to be like, ugh, it feels like shit because you feel stupid. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it can be very frustrating in like your day-to-day life. And yeah, it just kind of sucks.
A whole wonderful world in your mind, or be able to be on the internet and be a part of society in some way. He comments on a post about brain fog. And he writes, significant...
Okay, literally just said that. Okay.
cognitive decline. Any thoughts? That's what the original poster writes. Luigi allegedly responds, I have been experiencing symptoms of brain fog since I was 15. I'm also a very critical, logical thinker like yourself. My symptoms were very minor at first, and I was able to excel in high school, but the symptoms worsened exponentially last year after my fraternity's very tame Hell Week. I simply wasn't able to recover from a week of disturbed sleep. It's absolutely brutal to have such a life-halting issue, especially since the issue itself wears down the critical and logical thinking mind you'd usually use to tackle the problem. The people around you probably won't understand your symptoms. They certainly didn't for me. As each test came back negative, the doctors won't have a clue what's going on. I'm sure you already know most of this, but basically, I just want to say that you're not alone. Stay strong. If you ever want to talk, I'm sure there's a lot we can learn from each other's stories. He further...
I mean, the thing for myself, I find, is that when the biggest time I'll hit like peak agitation is if I like have brain fog, I'm pulled back into something, and then like something condescending or stupid happens around me, and I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking kill someone. Like I get into like insano sicko style mode because I'm like so frustrated that I'm like, oh, I'm in pain. I just want everyone to shut the fuck up. I don't know if you've ever experienced like pain like that, where you're just in so much pain that your mind is like, fuck. And then you just hear someone like just fucking saying some bullshit at you, and you're just like, shut the fuck up. You don't matter right now. I'm dealing with something. Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't do that in real life, but I'll do it on stream all the time. It's like, it's different. But like, you know, it's one thing when you're like talking to motherfuckers through a screen and it's text and it's you kind of just talking at people. It's a different thing if you do that to your family or friends when you're in person, because that's like more interconnected and actually like a connection there. So it's like, oh man. Oh, it's so hard to like, it's so hard dealing with chronic pain in general. And like, I try not to talk about it ever because I don't like that what was me bullshit. It just feels really stupid, and like too many fucking influencers use that shit and I don't like it. It makes me feel creepy and weird like they are. And it's just, oh, the amount of times I'm just, I don't know. That's why getting one guide is so annoying. I mean, on top of getting one guide, I think the thing is that I have a very low tolerance for repeat offenders of being one guide. Because my big thing is like, if you're somebody who like I've banned before, I let you back into the community, and then you one guy me again, I'm like, fuck, man, just shut the fuck up. Like, I posted a video. I was like reacting to SpongeBob, and people got really upset with me. They're like, you're bullying that guy in your chat. And I'm like, I banned that guy twice. And we let him back in, and then he tried to one guy me again. Like, bro, this is not like me popping off randomly at a viewer. It's like, dude is a fucking weird. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. What more attention do you need? Right? And that's what I said in the video. I'm like, what more attention do you need? And I pulled it up on screen. Okay, being one guide is a Twitch term where basically you'll have like hundreds or thousands of people watching you or whatever, right? And then one person in chat will say something that bothers the streamer, and the streamer will address them directly one-on-one rather than referring to the chat as the community, right? That's being one guide. Or like if one person in chat says something and it's wrong, then the streamer believes that person. That's also being one guide. Yeah. So I think he was saying something stupid, like he was trying to educate me on something, and whatever he was saying was just wrong. And I was explaining to him why it's wrong, and then he doubled down, and then he tripled down, and then he kept adding me. And I was like, dude, you just got unbanned for the second time. In my head, I was saying that. I'm like, why the fuck are you doing this now? I was like, what more attention do you need? Like, I was like, damn, that shit's exhausting to deal with. You know? It's fucking weird. And then my YouTube comments were fucking mad at me. And some people were like, you're deleting comments. I'm like, actually, I'm not deleting comments. I'm just banning people who are defending the guy. Because I was like, if you're that mad at me where you're like, Alicia, you're not the content creator that I knew. You've changed since you got an ego. I'm like, nigga, I haven't changed. I'm the exact same. I just don't like dickheads who I've banned previously and brought back. That's all. If you do the same repeat bullshit, I'm gonna get mad at you. That's all it is. And it's like people expect me, because I'm a very happy person, that they like expect me to have that sort of thing 24/7. But if I was doing that 24/7, it'd be fake. I'm gonna get agitated, I'm gonna yell at somebody, and I'm gonna call them a fucking idiot. Like, and that's all there is to it. Like, that's just it. And you know what? Like, I even like saw people adding me being like, you've changed so much. I used to like you. I can't believe you bullied that one chatter. I'm like, if you looked at the person's chat history, you would see why they were banned twice and how this is repeat behavior. They're just fucking stupid. Like, if you, like, you know, common sense. And the thing is, too, is that, like, zero benefit of the doubt. People were so quick to defend the chatter. There was no benefit of the doubt. They were like, Alicia's just turned evil. And I'm like, why didn't you just assume that maybe the chatter said something prior? Wait, why did they not notice that the rest of the chat was like, dude, shut the fuck up to this person? Because they've also seen this person do this previously. But instead of reading the context clues, they want to get mad at the face that they see, right? Like, it's just weird, man. Like, I do pop off at people, and sometimes it'll be unwarranted. And that's okay too, man. Fuck it. It's the internet. Do we give that much of a shit? God damn. I don't know. I just felt some soft ass shit. So what I did was I just banned anybody who like was trying to lecture me. And they're like, ugh, you're bullying people. I'm like, I don't owe you an apology. I don't owe you an explanation. I'm just gonna ban you because if you really don't like me anymore after I tell somebody off for annoying me, then you definitely should not be watching me, because I'm not gonna fake being overly nice and happy just to make you feel comfortable. That's not the vibe. Like, come on. Yeah, Tyrant Rat Queen. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, if you want me to be more fake and like happy about shit, like you're just watching the wrong person. I'm gonna yell at people I'm annoyed by. The same I would do that to someone in person. If you're being a dickhead in person, I would do the same thing. The same concept. No, bully us more, right? So, yeah. I don't know, that shit really bothered me for a bit too, because like I had motherfuckers really on me, but I think I banned maybe like 30 people who were like just like dogpiling on it. And I was like, and then someone was like, you're deleting comments. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just banning everybody because I don't care. Like, I care that people see me in such a negative light when I've always just been that way. That's what bothered me more, is that people thought I was changing. But no, that's just who I am. And it's weird to think that I'm only like a happy person, because that means you just see me as like a character, not a real person anymore. You know? That shit sucks. Chat, we are all getting bullied equally in chat. Exactly. And also, I call you guys like turbo virgins 3 times a day. How come I don't get canceled for that? I'm not deleting comments. I'm banning people. YouTube is deleting the comments. Exactly. This was super sidetracked from the main topic at hand. That was like a side rant. I'm a turbo virgin. Yes. But yeah, it's what like. I think like one of the things I like about Aliciaxdeath as a channel more though is I find that whatever I say, I can say whatever the fuck I want to, and my audience understands not to be little bitches about it. But it's like sometimes on Aliciaxlife, I feel like I have to tiptoe around sometimes because people just get so much more hostile towards me. I remember that happened like for like a lot of series I watched. Like even when it came to like Legend of Korra, when it came to Kaguya-sama Love is War, people just really be weird. I don't know, man.
There comments that it could have been when he contracted Lyme disease when he was 13 years old. That's when he started noticing the cognitive decline. He says, after my symptoms severely worsened last year, I underwent several rounds of blood tests. 2 of them included Lyme. I'm not sure the specific test, but the results were negative. Do you think this definitely rules out Lyme, or is it possible to still have Lyme given negative results? Okay, the brain fog thing, I see a lot of people making fun of it on the internet, which I think is crazy. I know brain fog sounds like a silly little issue. I've personally dealt with long bouts of brain fog. You don't even recognize yourself. You want to pull out your hair. It impacts even the way that you see yourself, your whole identity.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Even.
Yeah.
It was quite unexpected and unusually painful. He writes, working through the brain fog to get my degree has certainly been tougher than anything I ever thought I could handle. Granted, I went from almost entirely A's at a tough school to just passing my classes and not
Oh, just want to say one thing though. The most W comment section I get though is on my movie reactions. Y'all motherfuckers are so nice and supportive on my movie reactions. Oh, that shit restores my faith in humanity. My 2 nicest comment sections are Kitchen Nightmares and my movie reactions on my other channel. I'm like, damn. That made my day genuinely better.
Understanding anything, putting in probably twice the amount of work. There were quite a few times that I considered dropping out, but ultimately I decided that dropping would be much worse. The days when I don't have any work seems to be the worst. Struggling to understand lectures and homework is difficult, but having the same level of difficulty when trying to watch YouTube or read an interesting book is even worse. I can't even enjoy my free time. I think it's important to hold on to everything for as long as we can. Every year I've improved as a person, learning new things, meeting new people, etc.
Look at the iron tracking for the robot!
I ceased to tackle anything new and simply held on to what I had built up over the years. Soon it might be impossible to even pass my classes. At that point, it seems like the no-knowledge lifestyle is the only option, as you say. I also used excuses for why my grades started tanking. I used to tell my friends that GPA doesn't matter much for computer science, so I don't care. By hiding the symptoms, though, I stopped myself from getting advice from them, which has definitely turned out to be helpful. He's saying it's embarrassing, but just tell your friends, don't make excuses, because they could help you. He says, at the same time, hiding your symptoms only makes it harder for people to believe you once you finally reveal it to them. Last year was when it all started. I used to play chess daily against my roommate. I used it as a metric to see how the brain fog was improving. Eventually, I just stopped, since I could never ever remember any strategy. He would use the same moves against me day after day, and I just wouldn't remember them.
So is this like a separate medical issue that he's having, or is it related to his spine?
According to his alleged Reddit account, it could be from Lyme disease. Netizens have argued.
I would say it's more likely mental illness. I would probably pair it with like a depression due to his own issues with his health. So when you have so paired illness is very common. If you're somebody who tends to have deteriorating physical health, that can also cause the same thing to happen to you mentally. Thus, like depression symptoms may occur, such as like dissociation, like brain fog, things like that kind of like affect one's perception or memory.
Both. Those with Lyme say, yeah, that sounds exactly what I'm going through. But also people with chronic back pain say, this is exactly what I'm going through. And the fact that he could potentially have both could have made it exponentially worse.
And then there's also at the same time no help, or at least it seems like he wasn't even satisfied, or something probably went wrong with the surgery, right?
Yeah.
When he say long story, it's not a good story.
No. In another Reddit thread, he admits to having visual snow, which is a neurological condition that a person experiences persistent visual disturbances. It's like seeing static over everything, just tiny flickering dots everywhere. It feels like you're stuck in a snow globe, visual snow. It's considered a pretty rare condition, but one netizen says, the brain fog and visual snow can be symptoms of the back condition he has. The pain can be so unimaginable that it leads to that.
God damn. This one is for Rosetta Stone. This is a learning application that you can actually use to learn different languages. Which you can also find the link to Rosetta Stone using Rotten, code Rotten at checkout to support Rotten Mango.
And Rosetta Stone has taught me you can use at your trivia night next time.
Shopify. Rotten Mango is also sponsored by Shopify. You check out Shopify/Rotten as well to support Rotten Mango with their Shopify link. Shopify is a store platform in which you can kind of create your own store or to sell items such as merchandise and things like that. It's very common with YouTubers as well to use Shopify. So if that's what you want to do to establish your online business, that's a great way to do it. And if you want to do any of that stuff, use code Rotten at checkout, or use like /Rotten in URL as well. If you want links to any of those sponsors, you can check it out down in the description below of my reaction. You'll see the original link to the video. It'll be all in Stephanie's actual description, and you can click into those and purchase those if you want to.
I would often end my days whimpering on the floor because I couldn't keep going that day. I almost passed out in an airport bathroom, then realized I had been peeing on my shoe. It's hard to think when you're in that much pain. If your brain starts to shut down from the pain, it can affect your vision and give you visual snow. But it seems like, according to the Reddit comments that he's allegedly leaving, he seems optimistic about getting this surgery that he allegedly had in 2023. Prior to the surgery, he comments, the doctors, a bunch of them decided no operation is required for me anytime soon, but basically recommended I avoid any and all physical activities outside swimming and physiotherapy. Bizarre yet common advice from sedentary people who don't live life to the fullest. In my opinion, if your spine is broken and unstable to the point where you can't run, do you want to be walking around with it? What are you going to do? Wait until you take a bad fall and the instability causes some real nerve damage and you need surgery? The same account posts after getting the alleged spinal fusion surgery in July 2023. He writes that within days he was able to sit up on his own, stand, and even walk just fine. He says, quote, the surgery was not nearly as scary as I made it out to be in my head, and I knew it was the right decision within a week.
So it sounds good in that moment?
Initially, but perhaps the surgery did not go as planned, because one of his close friends allegedly states the back surgery is what changed everything for him. He went absolutely crazy. They said he went off the grid. He did not talk to his family. He did not talk to his friends. Nothing. He was solo traveling. Some state that he was probably in Japan for a brief moment in time.
Do you know what, though? That does make a lot of sense, too. I mean, shit, even when you're watching my reaction to like a lot of the stuff, right, is that one of the first, like one of the things that like changes you when you get help for your illness or help in treatment is you realize, holy fuck, what about the people who can't get helped, right? He's in a situation where financially he's so affluent that he can get the back surgery he needs, regardless if insurance covers it or not. He pushed for it regardless, right? Because even his doctors were like, yeah, you don't really need it yet. He's like, no, I'm going to push forward for it. And then his quality of life increased drastically, where he can move, run, he has movement again. He like feels like he's taking control of his life. And then to realize in juxtaposition, those people who can't have that because of their situation, that would shift you as a person. Because even myself, where I was talking earlier, we were like reflecting in like part 2 about the woman whose mom had cancer, right? And I just think about like even myself when it comes to treatment, or even my dad, like when it comes to like facing cancer, it's just this monster that like I can't even imagine a world. I don't want to imagine a world where we couldn't get treated, right, in time, and where we got further delayed. And it's like, that's the shit that like makes you like, it's not just about you. It's about every person affected beyond you. The thing that makes me most mad about my situation is that there's so many women out there who were pushed to get the hysterectomy because they couldn't afford to do the treatment style that I'm doing, right? And that is so fucked, right? And that's why when it's like, for example, in his situation, yeah, he got the back surgery. But sometimes in that moment of clarity where you realize you got to have a treatment because you could afford that treatment that other people can't have to improve their quality of life, that's what shifts your mentality.
His friends were trying to tweet at Luigi saying, are you okay? You know, what's going on with you? They say, hey man, I need you to call me. I don't know if you're okay or just in a super isolated place and have no service, but I haven't heard from you in months. You made commitments to me for my wedding, and if you can't honor them, I need to know so I can plan accordingly. October 2024, another tweet. Hey, are you okay? Nobody has heard from you in months, and apparently your family is looking for you. November 26, 2024. Thinking of you and prayers every day in your name. Know that you are missed and loved. November 27th, 2024. They just keep at Luigi, his handle. One of Luigi's friends said that he sent him an x-ray of his back after surgery, and they said it looked heinous. It just giant screws going down his spine. And this new information has caused a lot of netizens to relate to Luigi's story. I feel like everybody knows someone or they themselves have been directly impacted with the torture system that is the healthcare system in the United States these days. But some netizens don't care. They say, this is not an excuse. I had the exact same surgery at 21. I am now 46 years old. I live my life in pain and I've had multiple surgeries since. And you know what I didn't do? Murder someone. To which one...
I hate fuckers like that. I hate fuckers like that so much. God, what a condescending cunt. Oh my God. Yeah, well, back in my day, I had that, and I didn't go around killing people. He didn't do it for himself. He did it because of a larger image of what he thought. It wasn't like he turned around and like murdered a girlfriend. It wasn't some sort of personal connection that caused him to kill. It was different than that. That's you. It's not even. That doesn't fucking. You're so stupid, bitch ass fuck. I'm so mad. I'm just so mad. It's like those same fucking dickheads who are like, oh, when I was your age, I already had a house. I don't understand why kids can't get fucking houses these days. They keep living at home. I'm like, have you seen the fucking housing economy? You could buy with 2 Fruit Loops your fucking house with 3 bedrooms, bitch. It's not the same. Okay. Yeah. Anyways. So it's just, yeah.
One netizen responds, do you want a high five for that? Others point out that we're all on the same side. Did you not just read what you posted? They write, sounds to me like you've suffered needlessly and terribly at the hands of private insurance companies. I don't think you should be so self-congratulatory about not killing someone over it. Most people, of course, would not have the gall to throw their life away like that. But he did. Others comment, chronic pain can send someone off the deep end. It eats up the brain, the soul.
I love how they're cooking that man in the comments, though. Bless.
Another comments, when chronic pain is really bad, even just a week or two with no relief day in, day out, it's hard to even want to be alive. If his pain was that bad and he was in this state, I would imagine he decided to do something of consequence before he died. He could have been at the end of his rope, insinuating that he could have made the decision to self-exit by this point. Another writes, my dad has spondy, and when it first started, he turned into a person I barely recognized. The pain became so intense, he became bitter and threatening and upset. I get this. And remember how previously other netizens were saying, well, he's a coward for shooting Brian Thompson in the back. Mm-hmm. Some netizens point out that perhaps Luigi wasn't cowardly when he shot Brian Thompson in the back. They write, maybe it meant something. Regardless of Luigi's motive, Luigi has started what many netizens feel is a moment for class consciousness. I personally don't recall the last time so many netizens were united about something that is normally so divisive, which brings into the equation, what are Luigi's political ideologies? There have been debates on whether or not Luigi swings left or right, which there seems to be differing opinions, or maybe he himself is confused. He does consistently repost on Twitter famous podcasters and authors who typically have a more right-leaning audience. He also rated J.D. Vance's Hillbilly Elegy 3 stars, his book, which is not the worst rating, but considering he gave the Unabomber 4 stars, I'd say it's not a great thing. But he could be conservative and not a fan of the incoming administration. I don't really know. It's interesting that some netizens are trying so hard to figure out his political ideologies and see if he is in alignment with their own before deciding how to feel. I did see some point out, just for, I guess, being in depth, pointing out that there are red flags that he's read and rated biographies on Elon Musk, but he's also read the Hunger Games trilogy. So
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't give a fuck about his political ideology. I'm sorry. You know what? It's one of those things where what difference does his political ideology make when all he really cared about was that fucking insurance CEOs are letting people die? Do we really need to nail what fucking wing he was on? He was on the one that was like, hey, humans deserve to get fucking paid so they can live. That's the side he was on. All right? And you know what? Weirdly enough, I feel like a lot of people from both sides would agree on that. Because you know what? A majority of us do not have enough fucking money. It doesn't matter if you're right or left wing. A lot of us have people in our lives who are dying or need help, and that money is meaningful. And that's what it comes down to.
So people are really confused because these two don't align. You know, Elon Musk, Hunger Games, they're not on the same page. He's also read The Little Prince. Some netizens cannot understand his political ideology based off his Goodreads account, believing there to be some green flags, some red flags. But one netizen comments, as an avid reader and librarian, I don't find his reading and ratings of some of these books as a red flag. I actually think it's really important to read things that are arguing oppositional views to your own. And some people are kind of losing the plot on this. One netizen comments that he rated Elon Musk's biography highly, so he is a red flag. Luigi is a red flag. To which someone responds, you can still appreciate something without agreeing with it. You can even...
Someone in chat just said, I know guys like Ben Shapiro were blaming this on the left. See, that's the first problem, is listening to fucking Ben Shapiro.
Actually, so well, my wife is a doctor, and, because of that, I feel like I understand, well, yeah, it makes more, yeah,
Oh, fucking Christ. Yeah. Would you argue with Ben Shapiro? What, like debate him? No, I'm not a strong enough debater. He would outclass me in debating. That's just a fact. I know that there's a lot of people out there who might not have as strong like opinions or like understanding of things as I do, but I know that he himself is a stronger debater. I'm not a good debater. Doesn't mean I don't believe my points are right. I know whatever I believe is my right points are my right points, right? Because we all have conviction. But some people are just more talented at certain things, and he's a talented debater. He's a piece of shit, but he's a talented debater. Right? They put Ben Shapiro up against one of the top debaters in the world from Germany, and Shapiro collapsed. Yeah. I mean, at the same time, right? It's like you're putting up, like, I'm not here to defend Shapiro, but I will acknowledge when some people are just better suited for it, or they just have a lot more debate practice too, right? I'm just not somebody who's good for debating. I think for myself, I am somebody who I'm easily riled, right? Which I know that about myself, which would lead to me digressing through a debate system. Through a conversationalist system where things are spoken to back and forth, I can handle that very well. But debates are meant to also take slights to help increase your points like gravity within the state of doing it on like media, right? So, no, couldn't do that. Shapiro talks great, but he isn't particularly great at debating. He just excels at putting pressure on his debaters. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's like the thing that I would crumble at, though, which is why it's like, yeah, he excels in areas that I just definitely don't excel in. But in addition to that, I just think he's a stronger debater than me. Like, that's just fact. Like, I'm not somebody who's good at debating. I'm very great at commentating, though, which is like my old job. Yeah.
Give a book you disagree with high ratings if it gave you good insight into a new point of view or understanding that you, again, don't agree with.
They're acknowledging his talent, something wrong with that? Yeah.
Argue, agree, but rating Elon Musk's 5 stars is a real red flag. He's wacky. To which someone responds, it was a biography of Musk, not a book written by him. You can dislike a person and still appreciate an author for a good biography. But then others point out that he is Luigi is very much into AI, so perhaps he is an Elon Musk fan. But some netizens also point out that
he was a part of a robotics club, and he clearly was into like, he did like a master's in computer science. So he's gonna be fascinated by AI. What's a fucking stretch? People are trying to make it so fucking political out of nowheres. Like, who gives a shit? Like, this is such a stupid internet argument.
Seems to like Peter Thiel, and he has tweeted about him in recent years, which netizens don't like. Peter Thiel was a co-founder for PayPal. Interestingly, both Peter Thiel and Elon Musk are from the so-called dubbed PayPal mafia, which Elon Musk was fired from PayPal and replaced by Peter Thiel. So they're known to have a contentious love-hate relationship, but they both have very close ties to the incoming administration. Peter Thiel was allegedly the former mentor to JD Vance, the incoming VP. So their relationship is seemingly intertwined, and now people are calling into question, wait, whose side is Luigi on? But I will say, for this case, most netizens don't care. They don't care where he lies politically, at least not in relation to Luigi.
Point.
They think regardless, this is a moment that we finally have to talk about healthcare, to open this meaningful dialogue.
That's what I'm saying.
Really
like, stop focusing on the fucking political stance of this fucker. Focus on the actual problem at hand, and that's the healthcare
system. Who's at the top and who's being denied coverage and dying at the bottom. That's what it is. They're saying it doesn't matter your political affiliations when there are massive healthcare insurance companies denying your claims. They don't ask you, hey, do you like this person or this party or this politicians or this tech founder who's doing some crazy things? Like, do you like this person or that person? They don't care.
Vincent in chat said something great. Vincent said exactly what I was thinking too. A lot of pushing political stance to prevent it from becoming a class stance. And that's the thing. It should be a class stance, right? That's what hurts about it, is that you're going to see a lot of people with power, money, and influence trying to shove it into being a political issue or like an erratic issue or like anything they possibly can to distract us from the real issue at hand, which is the fucking class issue. Like that's what it comes down to.
And they're saying that anyone that's trying to have that conversation is doing a disservice to all those Americans that are getting denied coverage. Other netizens have taken to just joking about it. They think the fact that he favorited the bullet journal is kind of funny. They comment he may have misunderstood what bullet journal means. Additionally, many netizens really like Luigi based off of his Reddit account. His other accounts have his name and likeness. So all of his friends and family, probably the administrators at UPenn, can see his LinkedIn, can see his Twitter, his Instagram if they really want. But his Reddit account was more or less anonymous, and the way that he speaks, comments, and interacts with netizens, there is not a single mean comment.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell what kind of person he is.
Yeah, they believe he's a decent guy. He would tell strangers on the internet, you'll do great, whatever you decide. We can't be afraid to live our own lives to the fullest. Of course, always feel free to DM me if you have any questions in the future. Sorry, you're also a member of the shitty back club, but know that you'll be fine, whatever you decide. Or surgery is scary, but the sooner you get past this, the better. Good luck with the neurosurgeon consult.
Did you see the Chinese girl?
Yes. Okay, so there was this Chinese post that went viral on Red, which is a Chinese social media app, and she was talking about how her friend was at the same Hawaii dorms that Luigi was in, and the post has been slightly mistranslated. It's come onto American social media stating that the girl was talking about how Luigi was so sweet. Everybody called him sweet. He was down to earth, very smart, very brilliant. And anytime he would eat ice cream from the communal freezer, he would replace it. So that was how it was translated. And it went viral in America. And people are saying that is so sweet because most people won't replace ice cream that they ever
that's
ate.
cute.
But the truth of the Chinese post is actually much sweeter.
Oh, is it?
Because the post
Okay.
is, her friend had just mentioned in passing, like, oh, I ran out of ice cream. And Luigi came with ice cream, and it was really well decorated. He took painter's tape because I guess he didn't have ribbon lying around. Because
What the fuck? It wasn't even that he finished the ice cream and bought a new one. It was just the other person was like, oh, I finished my own ice cream. And then they bought one. And then used tape to make a fucking bow. That's so cute.
who has ribbon lying around, and he used the painter's tape to wrap it and do a little painter's tape bow at the top. But some netizens don't agree, writing, the guy pops out from behind a car and shoots someone who is defenseless in the back, killing him, and Reddit is over here saying, what a kind guy.
Well, that's so strange. It's almost like the people who are dying and needed their insurance to cover them were also innocent. Yet the CEO just pops up and changes policy, allowing them to fucking die. I just, it seems so strange, huh?
Not sure kind is the right word to describe a killer who made generic supportive comments on Reddit. Another comment reads, yeah, he committed cold-blooded murder because of his overwhelming kindness. But a lot more people are supporting Luigi, even in the same facility that Luigi is being held in after his arrest. He's in Pennsylvania as of filming this. He's fighting the extradition to New York. If he goes to New York, he's going to be held at Rikers Island. But the inmates of that same compound, they're screaming out the window towards the reporters, Luigi's conditions suck. Free Luigi.
Luigi's conditions suck. Free Luigi.
Which one netizen comment
That's
reads,
awesome.
inmates shouting free Luigi and not free us should tell you everything about that man.
Holy shit,
But
right?
this interview by News Nation is actually
What
quite
the
fascinating. I've
fuck?
never seen an interview conducted in this manner. They told inmates, because the inmates were watching their show, so they told them to watch at a certain time. The inmates have TVs in their cells. They turn on the news and they can see Ashley, the host, talking. Then they have another reporter outside the prison and they can see him too, and he can see the inmates capturing all of this, and they're screaming out the window, responding to the questions being asked on TV. They're asked if their dinner was good, yes or no, and they scream, terrible, it was terrible, that's BS, because they release what the inmates eat every day, and they say, that's not what we're eating.
Oh, like
Oh.
fake food, fake photos.
Yeah.
Oh.
like fake menus. The inmates later confide that they're getting punished for speaking with journalists.
If they can hear me right now, to answer yes or no. Does Luigi have television in his single cell?
Yeah, this whole case is becoming more and more
God damn.
thick and crazy. So while inmates are allegedly getting punished for telling reporters to free Luigi, many security firms have stated that there's a lot of fear. Corporate leaders are now grappling with one critical question: how vulnerable are we? One security firm states companies that adapt quickly and take proactive steps to mitigate risks are not just protecting their executives, they're safeguarding their futures, such as Meta, that spends more than $24 million a year on security for its top executives. But for the major corporations that don't, they seem very nervous. Some top corporate security providers have reported a massive influx of calls from potential new clients. To put it simply, every C-suite executive at any major corporation now wants a bodyguard. Which, of course, netizens think is just dripping in bloody irony. Other netizens think it's slightly reasonable, considering new wanted posters have popped up here and there in New York City. Wanted posters for top healthcare CEOs.
Oh,
it shows Optum Health CEO, the CEO of United Health Group, Andrew Whitty, so Brian's boss's bosses, and wanted posters with the now late Brian Thompson with a big red X over his face. The wanted posters read, "Wanted, denying medical care for corporate profit. Healthcare CEOs should not feel safe. United killed everyday people for the sake of profit."
Hold on, someone said, where's Luffy? Now listen, Luffy would beat the dreams out of these people. He wouldn't kill them. He would beat the dreams out of them. They would realize they have no future after Luffy deals with them. He'd make them go away and crumble into a hole with nothing.
Denied his claim to life. Who will be denied next? Deny, defend, depose. I will say, I guess subjectively this could be argued as being threatening, but I've never seen the NYPD so up in arms about something. The way they talk about these wanted posters is so bizarre. So outraged by these wanted posters, which again, I guess you could say they're not in good taste, but to be that enraged,
just so ironic.
Yeah,
so ironic.
It is.
If your ex-boyfriend made a wanted poster with your face, a regular civilian on there, posted them all over New York City, you probably wouldn't even be able to get a restraining order. The NYPD would be like, well, did he kill you yet? No. Did he commit a crime yet? No. Freedom of speech. Moving on. Next.
Exactly.
Get out of our precinct.
Isn't that what some people are saying? Like they couldn't get them, like that this ex-boyfriend's harassing me for years and they wouldn't do anything.
Nothing.
Yep.
And here they are just up in arms about these wanted posters. So again, I think they're just making the situation worse. Alongside that are pictures on social media that are circulating of these.
There was a case in New York where a girl had a GPS tracker from her ex-boyfriend inside of her car. She got the police to take it out, and the guy claimed he just misplaced it there. Guess who was not viable to get a fucking restraining order? She still has to deal with that motherfucker. What is that? What is that? She was like, I don't know what the fuck. She's like, I know he's tracking me. I don't know how. She goes to them. They find it in her car. Like, how? Just how?
Salaries of the 8 biggest health insurance CEOs, along with their names and pictures, which is not illegal, by the way. These are publicly traded companies. They are required to release, I think, at least their CEOs and I think like a handful of their top executives, along with their salaries. Yeah. This is public information, but NYPD does not like it, stating this has the capability to inspire a variety of extremist and grievance-driven malicious actors to violence. It's clear the police are very upset, and the netizens have said, matter of fact, let's talk about you too then. Ooh! The NYPD budget for 2024 is $6.3 billion.
Oh, fuck.
Of taxpayer money.
God
they say, what are you doing?
NYPD alone is $6.3 billion?
NYPD.
What the fuck?
A year. 1
That's
year.
insane. Wow.
Yeah, and now netizens are saying, what are you doing to solve regular, everyday people's murders, huh? Do you send scuba divers into the lakes at Central Park? Because that's our first time seeing that.
Exactly.
Netizens also feel the way NYPD acts like they took a dangerous criminal off the streets before he potentially harmed normal people like you and I is goofy. The officer that arrested Luigi in Pennsylvania, his name is ironically Officer Fry, and Luigi was arrested at McDonald, so people think
Okay.
the plot keeps getting thicker. He says, I can't say I was expecting it by any means, but it feels good to get a guy like that off the street, especially starting my career this way.
Officer Fry just started his career? That's crazy.
Which a lot of people believe highlights again how not in sync, out of touch, frankly. They're not saying risk your life and don't arrest people that need to be arrested, I guess, right? But they're saying, why make this statement? Say nothing. If you have, say nothing. They're saying the
So
police, big
stupid.
corporations, mainstream media are so out of touch with public sentiment.
They
Again,
are.
not saying
It's
that if
so
someone is committing a
stupid.
crime, the police should do nothing about it. Just, I mean,
Have some fucking
there's got to
decorum.
be a better way for him to
And
have said
social
something
understanding.
about it without saying, yay, I might get a promotion so early on in my career.
That's exactly right. That's so fucking weird.
One netizen comment reads, the NYPD just proved they have the resources to solve any murder by catching Luigi Mangione. Interestingly enough, they only seem to care to deploy them when the victim is worth $50 million.
That's exactly what they fucking proved. That's exactly what they proved. Like, they don't give a shit.
Another comments, this has so much more to do with the embarrassment and scrutiny this brought onto the NYPD than his net worth. This happened in the open brazenly in Midtown Manhattan. If NYPD did not catch this guy, they would look really, really stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
As
that's
for
true.
how they caught Luigi, it seems to be just a phone call from a McDonald's employee that some people call a rat. But the NYPD says a combination of old school detective work and new age technology is how we caught Luigi. The police commissioner continues, we should never underestimate the power of the public to be our eyes and ears. Now the case will continue through the criminal justice process, and while we are proud of today's accomplishment, we must of course remember that there is a family in mourning. People say it's just another reminder of class consciousness. One netizen comments, all the effort and resources to apprehend him. If any of us were murdered, they would have no leads. There's a video of Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, who is, I believe, still under investigation for his own corruption.
Yay.
He's calling Officer Fry from Pennsylvania, the one that arrested Luigi in McDonald's. Yes, and the mayor tells him, we as New Yorkers appreciate it. You did a great job. You took a dangerous person off the streets. You're going to be the most popular police officer in your town.
I guess we found your guy.
Popular for the most. Oh, you know what? You're going to be real popular, buddy. You're going to be real popular. Yeah.
Yes, we as New Yorkers, we appreciate it. You took a dangerous person off the street. We thank you so much. Well, you're gonna be the most popular police officer in your town.
Yeah.
And netizens said, okay, bet.
Yeah.
And the police
Okay,
have
bet.
been receiving threats. for
Okay,
arresting
well,
Luigi.
okay. I threatening him is fucked, but you popular for the wrong reasons.
So I guess popular is subjective, right? Another disconnect between mainstream media and most netizens as well. Some netizens think mainstream media is overdoing the theatrics. Mainstream media writes that Luigi was a video game assassin. They write he once belonged to a group of gamers who played assassins in the video game. You scroll down, what's the video game, you ask? Among Us.
This is so dumb.
All right, everybody stop. Who's going to arrest Disguised Toast? That motherfucker has like 35 Among Us videos with millions of views. All right? He's got videos called 35,000 IQ shit Among Us bullshit ass names, okay? You gotta arrest that motherfucker, okay? Clearly. That is the king of now hiding bodies. That's it. The assassin game. That's one of the best assassin game players. Oh my God.
This is so dumb.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. The McDonald's in which he has been arrested in has been flooded with 1-star reviews. Some of them read, McDonald's has a very big rat problem. More like Narc-Donald's. Narc. Deny, defend, oppose, diarrhea, McDonald's. Another comment reads, I should have realized something was wrong when the person who took my order at this McDonald's had weird looking whiskers. I didn't think much of it because I was hungry. But when I asked for cheese, they got really excited and their ears perked up. They're all a bunch of rats. Review, Rat 1, Humanity 0.
not
This
our
McDonald's
rats.
is officially the worst place on earth.
These are not our rats. We do not claim these rats. Our rats would never snitch. Our rats are loyal. And our rats know when to shut the fuck up. Mind their own business. Our rats are the ones eating pizza in the New York streets. Big fat rats. Thick as motherfuckers. Thick as cats. We so thick we walk by and you think we a cat. That's how thick we are. That's what our rat is like, okay? We ain't none of them McDonald's serving rats. We them pizza eating rats with extra cheese.
I walked in for a McChicken and what did I get? A front row seat to a Rat Olympics floor routine. A little demon sprinted across the dining room like it had unpaid rent. Freaking rat. Why go here when Taco Bell is just across the way and they know how to keep their mouths shut? It's just a rodent convention in there. A lot of people are really upset because technically there is no legal duty to report someone. If you think you see someone that resembles the guy that the authorities are looking for, you have no legal duty to report them. I mean, to be fair, you can't hide them in your home and get away with it. But if you just see something, you don't have to report it. So they're wondering, why did the rat from McDonald's, they say rat from McDonald's, call and report Luigi?
Yes, don't
On
up.
top of that, they think it's because, oh, the $60,000 reward? Well, guess what? The real news is they might not even get it. They might not even get it.
Why?
So they call 911 instead of the tip line. And usually the government goes through so many...
The McDonald's employee who snitched is not even gonna get the money. Holy shit! You fucking suck!
hula hoops to try and
Claim
not give you the
denied!
reward money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, delay, deny, defend is what the United States will do.
Basically.
Yeah. And it's like you have to wait until they're convicted. There's so many legal little hoops that you have to jump through. But one comment reads, if they get the money, whoever receives that money, I hope they use it for their health and still end up in debt due to denied claims. Then you have netizens posting pictures of Luigi and where he was the day of Brian Thompson's shooting. People have been photoshopping shirtless Luigi into their pictures, writing, what a busy month it's been. Special thanks to Luigi for his help on December 4th from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. What a long shift to never leave our site, not even once to even use the restroom. Customers really enjoyed your catchphrase, Luigi. I'll never go to New York City, and the only thing I hate more than hoods on jackets is guns. Very weird thing to say, constantly, all day long to the customers, but also very funny. Put on a shirt, you goof. Yeah. Other netizens think this whole thing is crazy. Some netizens are still not over the fact that there was a lookalike contest in Washington Square Park for the shooter, writing, our generation is so unserious. But in a way, aren't we all him? Imagine he was actually there and didn't win. Others had very fascinating ideas, writing, oh my God, this is literally what I was LOLing about last night. What if all the New Yorkers just cosplayed him indefinitely? The CEOs would be having nervous breakdowns. Others say during his trial, they will, we listen and we don't judge. Others didn't care for his lookalikes. They just cared for Luigi's looks, which fair points are made by some netizens. Objective attractiveness is objective attractiveness, I guess, okay? They comment, he is only guilty of being hot. Another one reads, Your Honor, my client Luigi Mangione is innocent. He was just demonstrating the true power of having looks that could kill. The only thing criminal is his bone structure. Another comment reads, good luck finding 12 jurors that don't want to fuck him. Yeah. Others believe that
finding 12 jurors that don't want to fuck him is so crazy. That's so crazy.
Luigi could be on the stand testifying and they would just hear blah, blah, blah. Whatever you say, handsome. Yeah. And another comment reads, my only question is, does he have a GoFundMe? Which there have been funds popping up here and there, but I will say I don't think Luigi will be using them. He does have 2 attorneys representing him already, and they are paid for. We don't know who's paying them, likely his family. I can't 100% verify this, but it appears he might have been streaming the song Criminal by Britney Spears prior to his arrest.
Oh,
Really?
yes.
Which would
I'm
be...
in love with a criminal. And this type of love is infectious.
Not fantastic, NYPD. Be deplorable, NYPD, if you are listening to this. We should actually have a whole press conference about it. Other netizens point out things they find ironic or funny about this case, which nothing is funny about this case, NYPD. But they write, I think Luigi Mangione rating the Unabomber's manifesto a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads is so funny to me. It's like, yeah, that was pretty good, but like I could do better. One slightly unhinged, but I guess understandable netizen writes, currently consulting with an Etsy witch to get you out of this. Be strong, Luigi.
I just
Okay.
think it's so fascinating that, you know, this is the public reaction, right?
Yes.
It's so insightful. I think it says a lot. You know, it's a lot to be studied.
Yes, so much to be studied. And what is to be studied is the healthcare industry. So what's very fascinating and truly angering for a lot of people is even with this debate, I will say the people making the memes and editing Luigi, it's definitely a smaller group of slightly more extreme, you know, people. I wouldn't even call them extreme, just funnier people, I guess, right? But the generic public is, I'm not going to be sad about it. I'm not going to be sad about Brian Thompson's murder. And we should have these conversations about healthcare. Now, mainstream media is just picking from these memes, posting them on their little TV channels and saying things like, you know, the system is broken. We can all agree on that. But murder is wrong. And they're so focused on the reaction of netizens that all they have to say about healthcare is the system is broken and we can all agree on that. Why don't you talk about how the system is broken?
Exactly! Because that's also killing people and murder is wrong, right? Then how about we talk about that?
Why don't you talk about anything else?
Yeah.
It's so goofy. No one believes you if you say stuff like that. Other netizens are just shocked and left rethinking their standing on this. They comment, okay, the CEO assassin is actually finer than I thought. Like, they could never make me hate him. So what now? Luigi has been charged with forgery, carrying a gun without a license, false identification to law enforcement authorities, and with tampering in Pennsylvania. Prosecutors have filed murder charges as well as other charges against him in Manhattan. He is fighting his extradition to New York City. Side note, there were a series of released mugshots of Luigi. One of them appears that he has urinated on himself. And some people were making fun of him, saying like, there's no way he's the CEO assassin when he peed himself when he got arrested. He's baby. But a lot of netizens who have dealt with chronic back pain and spondy and spinal fusion surgery, they say that for about 2 years, you cannot hold in your pee. And it's actually a really big part of chronic back pain that nobody talks about, because as an adult, you're expected to do certain things. And it really does break your own identity. And it is humiliating. When you feel like you have to pee, you can no longer hold it like any other adult. You have to use the restroom right now. You cannot hold your urine. And they believe that the police would not let him use the restroom. And he peed himself. And some netizens were actually pointing out, police have allegedly done this before, where if they really don't like a suspect, they'll try to get you to beg for things. They want to humiliate you. So they might have tried to get Luigi to beg them to use the restroom, and he might have decided he'd rather urinate himself. I think it was you that pointed this out, because we were talking about it over dinner, and you're saying he does hold his chin up high in that specific photo.
Yeah.
So it
That
might...
photo's like, you can tell his energy. Like,
I'm not going to beg, and I'm not going to...
Oh, fuck.
Again, we could be speculating and we could be wrong, but something to note. During Luigi's first court appearance, it's been reported that, quote, prosecutors tried to highlight the $10,000, the $8,000 in USD, the $2,000 in foreign currency that was found on him. Also, they said that he had a Faraday bag, which blocks electric...
The foreign currency was actually $2,000 in Monopoly money, but I'm kidding.
Signals, electronic signals. The prosecutor suggests criminal sophistication with what was found on his body. Apparently, Luigi added during his first court hearing, this is when he didn't have an attorney. He said, I'd like to correct 2 things. First, I don't know where any of that money came from. I'm not sure if it was planted. And also, that bag is waterproof, so I don't know about criminal sophistication. Then during his next hearing, he's heard yelling while the cops slam him up against the wall. This is completely unjust and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and their lived experience.
Whoa!
As completely out of touch and as an insult to the intelligence of the American people and lived experience.
Which has
Holy
opened the door to more
shit!
conversations about the mainstream media coverage versus social media coverage. Mainstream media reports this as a violent outburst. They're almost framing him as
That
this.
is not a violent outburst. That's him just yelling to the camera. What do you mean a violent outburst? You're so full of shit. Dude, fuck the media trying to flip this narrative. What do you mean? We see the fucking footage with our eyes.
Maniac. Some netizens have even stated, people are making jokes about this, but be prepared for the media to hand select photos that make him look as deranged as possible, which they've already started doing. They have started using a screenshot of him screaming where it looks like he's almost snarling at people.
Yeah.
Mainstream media also has reported that, quote, thanks to the hero McDonald's worker, that a dangerous criminal is behind bars. Yeah, and they say this is the same mainstream media that believe McDonald's workers don't deserve a living wage. Suddenly they're heroes to them. Another mainstream media host actually wished Luigi to die in prison. He has been denied.
I cannot. They're like, yeah, you know what? McDonald's workers, you don't need to be paid more. But also you're heroes. Like, fuck you! Make minimum wage higher! People need to fucking live! Inflation's a whore! People are suffering! Okay, I'm good.
Bond at his arraignment, and his family, Luigi's family, has made a statement saying, unfortunately, we cannot comment on news reports regarding Luigi
Also, if
Mangione.
any fucker in my comments says get a real job towards any person who works in fast food industry, I'm gonna personally beat your ass with a ban, I swear to God. Do you know why? Because the fast food industry is a fucking real job, okay? You know why? Because if you don't want to fucking work from it and you order shit from that, that's a fucking service, bitch, and you clearly need it in this society. People want it, there's a demand for it, and if they're not the ones doing it, who the fuck is? So you better be grateful to that shit if you're gonna order from that shit. Thank you.
We only know what we have read in the media. Our family is shocked and devastated by Luigi's arrest. We offer our prayers to the family of Brian Thompson, and we ask people to pray for all involved. We are devastated by this news. In Pennsylvania, Luigi is represented by...
But if you say my job's not a real job, that's fair. That's fair. That's okay. I understand. That one I understand. But I do own 2 restaurants, so that's a real job. But
Tom Dickey, one of the few attorneys in Pennsylvania that's qualified to do
I'm
death
fucking
penalty
around.
cases. Not that this is a death penalty case as of right now. It wouldn't even be in Pennsylvania, but just to show he's a very qualified attorney. When asked if the so-called manifesto is enough evidence for the police, Luigi's attorney states, I know you can't tell, but I'm 5'6". But I could write on a piece of paper that I'm 6'5" and all other kinds of stuff. Yeah. So he's saying you can write whatever you want on a piece of paper. How is that evidence?
oh,
Yeah, so
true.
a lot of people really like his attorney because the way he's
His
just
attorney
so
Ian.
blunt, for lack of a better words. Yeah, and he seems like he's having a good time with the media. As for evidence, he says he has seen no evidence against his client. He holds up both of his hands like he's trying to catch a ball. And he says, look, zoom in. This is all the evidence I've seen.
You can look on this table, and here's all the evidence I have right here, guys. So zoom in as close as you want to it. Nothing.
He also admits when asked that, yes, according to his staff, people are reaching out to him, trying to offer to help to pay Luigi's legal bills. CNN straight up asks him, why do you think people are offering to help pay his legal fees? He responds, the Supreme Court says all these rich billionaires can give all kinds of money to candidates, and that's free speech. So maybe these people are just exercising their right to free speech and saying that's the way they're supporting my client. Which kind of shuts CNN up pretty quickly.
Damn right
so
it
that's
does.
his attorney in
Damn right it
Pennsylvania.
does.
Recently, he just retained another attorney in New York who interesting, has a connection to another case that we've been working on. She is the wife of his first name, Mark, I believe, Mark Agnifilo. He's representing Diddy. And she's going to be representing Luigi Mangione. She is actually very well established. She's the legal counsel for the Law and Order show. She's the consultant to make sure that everything makes sense in the legal world. She's done a lot of good work, and she will be representing Luigi now. High profile attorney. Very well.
Oh, you trying to out of context me, huh? You trying to out of context me, huh? Let's take a look, Dave. Let's take a look, Dave. What you got going on here, Dave? Wait a second. This motherfucker's into Bert. He just lock caps to the machine. I see, Dave. I see. How do you feel about the Russian mob, Dave?
Well connected, which is usually helpful. Now, Luigi's friends have come out of the woodworks to talk about
And
him.
he's a Squidward sympathizer.
Obviously, many people are speaking about his back surgery and the potential debilitating chronic pain he suffered from. But some people, most of them, are just talking about how nice he is. I haven't seen a single weird thing about Luigi yet. And they're all just surprised. They say even when we had conversations about capitalism and all these things, Luigi never seemed like someone who had an axe to grind. He was always very calm and chill. He was the leader of a lot of clubs. To which someone comments, in the club, we're all crying for Luigi.
In the
But
club.
one netizen comments, it's truly a testament to his character that even after becoming a suspect to a high-profile murder case, everyone that he knows and has interacted with has nothing but good things to say about him. And the crazy thing is, if you watch these interviews of mainstream media interviewing his friends, they're trying to trip the friends up, like asking, like, are you sure he didn't say anything crazy? Are you sure he never acted a certain way? All of them are so steadfast, like, no, he was like the sweetest guy ever.
He looks cute,
And then
he
within
does.
3 minutes, they end the segment because I guess it's not entertaining. They're not getting what they want, which is someone to hate Luigi. So I will leave you with the last remaining public sentiments I could find. Some people think that Luigi is evil, especially now that he has been arrested, his Goodreads account has been revealed, and all of these other things. And they write, great big round of applause for the law enforcement personnel who resolved this so quickly. Anyone who elevates this man.
You know what? I would give a big round of applause for law force personnel if they were solving every murder in New York at the same rate that they did for this one. I'm sorry, finding the accused. But they're not finding the accused for the murders happening in New York this quickly. Thus, they do not deserve my acknowledgement or recognition for doing a good job. Until you treat everyone that way and have that much gusto towards trying to find a killer, no, you will not get a pat on the back from me.
And as a hero is ignorant. Imagine a world where supposed vigilantes are heroes. You would be the next victim. Most netizens comment, sorry, I don't make enough to be the next victim.
Yeah.
Or simply, why would I be the next victim? I'm not killing people by denying them insurance that they paid for.
Exactly.
Another netizen states, those hailing him as a hero must confront the chilling reality. He took the life of an unarmed human being in cold blood, with the victim's back turned, a deliberate and cowardly act. Other netizens are more focused on the potential hypocrisy of the incident, writing, you hate capitalism, yet you come from a wealthy family?
But that's what makes him ideal. Like, people, it's so lost on the idiots, man. It's so lost on the idiots. That's the reason why he is the person to do it. Like, that's what makes it so much of a stronger sentiment. Because if it's somebody else, then they can be like, oh, they had a bone to pick, blah, blah, blah. He's someone who didn't have a bone to pick. It's him helping raise class awareness. Like, wake the fuck up. Jesus, if you can't understand that, like, it's too stupid. It's too stupid. It's too stupid. It's too
Person
stupid.
comments,
I can't.
Nobody cares. He wasn't trying to stop World War III. He pulled a trigger premeditated on a man for financial reasons. We shouldn't give him a platform. There is no rightful advocating for violence. Fuck him. Another writes, he is no hero and he is not God and he doesn't get to decide who gets to live.
Okay, if he's not a hero and he's not God and he doesn't get to decide who lives, then fucking healthcare CEO should also not be considered God because he got to decide who fucking lives and dies by changing what the fuck happens, which is why they went up by that massive percentage. 6%. They made billions of more dollars when he played God by letting people die. What do you mean?
To which someone comments, neither can insurance companies. Heart. They comment back, and that's your justification for murder? What the fuck is wrong with you? What this man did was very sad, and he literally just ruined his whole life, okay? He could have used his privilege to help so many other people, but he was at the end of his rope. Or it's turned into a conversation of...
No, actually. The impact he has right now of what he just did genuinely has more impact than him silently donating. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. That's the reality. And it sucks. It sucks that taking a life is what causes that to happen, but it's true.
About women loving criminals. Which, to be fair, I think there is a genuine case of it being alarming and hazardous to society, more so when people believe that they can change full-blown sadistic serial killers or think that a criminal...
Hybristophiliacs are a thing, right? Hybristophiliacs are people who get fixations or like feel like infatuated towards like a criminal, right? Where they romanticize it and find it sexually attractive. Now, the reason why this happens is because of like there's like many reasons that are said. You know, the discourse about it's fucking weird. But a lot of it's like, oh, if they kill, there can also be a protector because they are willing to kill others. And thus that means that you are somebody who's considered in their inner circle. And if you're somebody who's been damaged earlier on in life or hurt by previous events, you'll feel better with them, which is why you infatuate and why you like grow obsessive with a person who is usually like a serial killer or things like that, right? Now, the reason why like that's fucking stupid is because these people who are serial killers, who are like, we talked about Ted Bundy, I think in part 2 of this, right? Where I explained that do not compare what Luigi did to Ted Bundy, right? Serial killers should never be compared to like other people, right? Someone who murders one person and doesn't get this unique pleasure from it is not the same. One of the most detrimental things is like, I'm gonna be real with you. That fucking, what's that movie? Where Zac Efron's the lead. Where he plays Ted Bundy. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's like a super long title, right? People had like a second wave of infatuation with Ted Bundy. And the thing about Ted Bundy is like, in that movie, they didn't show two of the most unredeemable shits about him. Like extremely wicked, shockingly beautiful, whatever the fuck it is, right? It's like a super long title. I don't remember. Isn't he dead? What, Ted Bundy? Yeah, Ted Bundy's dead. Yeah. Right? And the thing about it is like, he was executed like a while back. Anyways, refocusing is that Ted Bundy, I know I'm going to be repetitive by saying this, but like, he was one of the most sensationalized serial killers because one, he defended himself. 2, it was televised and women were going fucking feral for this man, right? And it's like, how fucked up do you have to be to see someone who takes the lives of others, who R-words people, who mutilates them so badly that like their corpses are piled in the mountainside? Like, that's not the fucking, like, to sexualize and sensationalize that is insane. And then I bring up the point, fictional characters. Fictional characters are a very different thing. Because when you create like a fantasy world where there's no consequence or no repercussions, it's just fantasy, it's just fiction, it's just like either like cartoons, video games, whatever, right? Yeah. You could be like, oh, that's killer's fucking hot. The moment you do it about real life people, there's real victims that are affected there. In a video game, and an anime, and a cartoon, those aren't real victims. The real victims are happening in real life, and those serial killers have real victims. One of Ted Bundy's slaughterings was the Omega House. Now, I don't know if you know about this, but when he escaped, when he was supposed to be studying at he was defending himself in court, he escaped, and then he caused the Omega House murders, where he strangled a girl with pantyhose. He went like fucking insane, and he was so feral to kill that he was murdering people almost daily after that. He was on a rampage, and the only way he got caught again was because he was fucking speeding and driving erratically. Yeah, he did bludgeon. Yeah, he did bludgeon 2 of them. One of them survived, one of them died. I know that for sure. Yeah, and then one of them, he like strangled first and then did that. It was fucking, like, he's just a monster. And one of them, like, and then, God, I even mentioned before the 12-year-olds, where that's where they got the fucking bite marks from. Right? And it's like insane. Saying it's a what? Is Omega House a content creator house? Don't say that. Dude, you know, don't say that. Yeah. I'm glad someone in chat called them out for that. No, it was a sorority house in the 80s. Yeah, exactly. It was a sorority house. Yeah, it's not the time to make a joke about that. People died there, man. They got slaughtered. Right? Like, you know, some empathy, please. Right? Oh, sorry, bad joke. I mean, thank you for apologizing, for owning up to it. Right? It is in bad taste. I'm glad you acknowledged it right away. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's so fucked what he did. And then the way that women glorified him was insane. And then when the movie came out, people like got horny for him again. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, it's so fucked up the way that like some people sensationalize these killers. But I'm like, understand that someone who commits a murder is not the same as like a deranged serial killer. And if we go into serial killers at some point and I start covering them, like, I can give you way more in depth about a lot of them because I'm somebody who's like a true crime fanatic. I love looking at true crime. But for me, my interest is like, what's the psychology that kind of led somebody to commit the crime? But also, what happens to the victims after? What happens to their families? I like to learn about every aspect beyond just the focus of the killer because I care about like what happened to those families. How do you recuperate after something so traumatic? Like, how are you able to like go on? Or like, what was like the thing surrounding that person that either they either help push them into that direction or even help negate it for longer. Like things like that like their environment that was around them, right? That experienced their life around them. That's also interests me. Like things like that, like are intriguing, right? They are. Yeah. Calling Luigi a serial killer is crazy. It is. Yeah, but he's not though. That's just by classification alone. He's not. But it's like, make sure to like, when you make the comparison between killers, is that a lot of things are very different. And when looking at true crime, it's important to like have that perspective, right?
Is less guilty because he has badly done face tattoos. Yes, I do think it's alarming. However, I don't know if this is the most fitting case for that sentiment, but a bunch of men have taken upon themselves to say things like, oh, women love saying, I hate men because they're dangerous, but I love Luigi Mangione. Writing, Luigi Mangione has showed us the dark nature of females once again.
Even her husband laughed. Hold on.
Which is such...
Her husband let out a chuckle. Her husband let out a little chuckle right there. Did you hear that? Her husband laughed at that too.
Luigi Mangione has showed us the dark nature of females once again. Which is such...
He let out a little laugh. He said, "The fuck, these guys are fucking incels." Holy shit. Oh my god. Yeah, if you call women females, yeah, that's probably a sign you're an incel. Yeah. Dude. You know what I'm gonna say? I want to say thank you to all the men in my community who aren't brain dead. I want to take the time to thank you for understanding that your gender does not equate your entire thought process. And don't blame women for existing. Thank you to all the men, W's to you, who watch me knowing I'm a female content creator and aren't mad as shit. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Yep.
Such an odd take when there is meaningful conversations to be had, but go off, Tiny King. They also write, these people, they need years of therapy. To which a lot of girly pops have responded in the comments, I mean, yeah, but they won't cover it, so.
Eat! Eat!
Here we are. One Reddit post has been getting a lot of traction this week. The title is, I'm disgusted to see how many people in America are okay with murder.
But you're cool with legalized murder when it comes to people not wanting to get, when it comes to people affording to be able to help themselves survive? What the fuck is this? I'm sorry, I need so bad I'm talking faster. I need to like slow down. Okay. It's just, the double standard is so high.
And the body reads, I'm sorry, but I will never be okay with the killing of 60,000 Americans per year due to being uninsured or underinsured and not seeking medical care because of it. I will never be okay with American citizens committing self-exit due to being unable to pay medical bills. I will never be okay with the insurance industry in the US denying health insurance to sick and injured people because they want to maximize profits. Murder is wrong, that is all. To which the top comment is, murder is wrong, but if done through a corporation on a massive scale using tons of paperwork, well then, it's just a business, isn't it?
Exactly. Exactly.
But the general sentiment being, none of this has anything to do with Luigi or Brian Thompson. They write, I will be praying for the families of those who were denied services and suffered financial disaster, and those who lost loved ones because of needed services being denied. It's not about how attractive Luigi Mangione is. It's not about how awful the murder of Brian Thompson is. This is the true discourse we should be having. To which one netizen hesitantly responds, unfortunately, I don't think this guy is going to survive prison. I'm sure the elites want this guy permanently done. Others are
Oh, fuck. I didn't think about that. Because I was like, I thought that maybe he'll be protected in prison because of how many people have been screwed over by the healthcare system. But if someone gets paid off enough and there's enough power from his, like from... No, but his family's also fucking affluent. Hold on. If they go fight money with money, his family got the money to protect him. Hold up. It's not like he's someone who don't got that money back in. He got that money back in. Hold up. I think he'll be fine. Realistically. And also, I think, are you forgetting Epstein? Difference with Epstein is everyone wanted him dead. You kidding me? That's a way different scenario. It's a whole different scenario when people find out you're a pedophile and selling off children and trafficking them. But if you're a guy who shot somebody who like screwed your grandma and your grandma dead, you're probably gonna protect them. Right? Like that's a whole different situation.
considering nicknames for Luigi Mangione. Robin Hood, the Riddler, the Claims Adjuster, but some argue the defendant, murderer, killer. I guess the more fitting nickname depends on who you ask. And that is the current ongoing case of Luigi Mangione and the murder of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare.
Dude, pedophiles in prison don't last long. They are actively hunted down, as they should fucking be, man. As they should be. Like, just, oh, my unbridled rage for anyone hurting kids is just so fucking high, man. And you're like, you know what? Like, the thing too about me is like, if you met me like maybe like 3-4 years ago, I was a bit more of a softer heart. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really want to wish death upon people. Like, that feels really fucked up to do. I feel like my one line of like, yeah, they can eat shit and die is toward people who are pedophiles. Like, people who hurt kids. When you hurt kids, like, you don't deserve to be here anymore. Like, that's how I feel about that. And normally I'm not like, you know what I mean? I don't like targeted threats, right? I feel like that's really shitty to do. But like, in general, it's like before I'd be like, you know what? I really hope for rehabilitation. But then you look at the offenders and the rate of rehabilitation is so fucking low. And when they get out, the chance of them repeating is so incredibly high. Like, it's disgusting. Oh my God. And then you just think about, like, you know, in your life, how many pedophiles have you come across? And the crazy part is if you ask almost anybody, most people have had like a pedophile teacher in their school. Like, we've all encountered a pedophile at some point. Maybe not attracted to you, but they've been there, right? Or at least accused of it. And that's what's like terrifying, you know? And it's just, yeah. So I have like really strong opinions about that. And like, that's like there's like a lot of like places where I find that there's a lot of like back and forth and debate about rehabilitation for criminals and stuff like that. But like, that's my one thing. I'm like, I don't think you can fucking rehabilitate that. I think that once you've hurt someone, especially once you hurt a child, like there's just no fucking going back for you. And I can't. Like, no.
Which again, Luigi is innocent until proven guilty, just like anybody else in the system. But what are your thoughts on this case? Let me know.
Again, this video will be linked in the description below. Please go support the original video. We had such a long conversation over this over the past like 3 videos. Now it's a 3-part video. For myself, as you guys know, I'm a commentary channel. I put reaction in the title more so because that gets better fucking views. But I am more of a commentary style channel. So when I react to something, I tend to talk about the topic for a really long time. And have long tangents. So I really hope you support the original content. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to have cool discussions like this without having like some sort of like outline and informational basis. And we couldn't do this without Rotten Mango's video in particular. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Support the original video. And while you're here, subscribe and support me too. I upload 2 videos every single day, from gaming to reactions to whatever I feel like. And I hope you stick around. We'll catch you next time. Bye.